Hey everyone, it's Jonathan here. So I'm back after 8 months. I'm back with the Shoepatcher. I'm in a new space. I have a few new tools to go along with the Shoepatcher that I'll show you in a little bit. I've made a few more modifications to my Shoepatcher to really hone it in, and it's having some issues with the thread snapping, which I know a lot of you comment and you say you have that same issue. I will show you what I did to eliminate it on my machine. What we're going to be working on today is a small cover, just a little sheath cover, mainly just to show how the machine works, but also to cover a new French edger that I picked up. I picked up a few tools. I found a company on Amazon that I really like. Their tools are reasonably priced and seem to be really good quality. So we'll take a look at those while we work on the project. So let's dive in, have a look. All right, so the first thing I need to do is wind a bobbin. If you haven't seen how I made this bobbin winder, this is the stock bobbin winder that came with the machine I modified. If you haven't seen how I did that, you can check the description below. I'll have a link to the video where I show you how to do this. Now this is one of the modifications that I have made. Right here on the edge of the shuttle bobbin, I actually took this onto a belt sander because when I was pulling it in and out of the case, it was sticking. The tolerances right here, you can see how it's still, right here you can get that to focus. Right here you can see how it's still kind of dirty from the factory where it was casted. And then right here is where I hit it with the belt sander. You can see how shiny that is. And I just had a 1-inch belt sander. I just tapped it on there and took a little bit off at a time, sanded it down smooth. And then the other thing I did, I don't know if you can see too well there, you can see I beveled the bottom. So you see how the bottom of the shuttle carriage now, instead of being flat 90 degrees across, it tapers down. That's so when the thread goes around, when the hook catches the thread and it goes under, so the thread gets caught here, and when it's trying to make the stitch, the thread has to go around the shuttle carriage. And by beveling the bottom of it, the thread goes under, and this will actually pick up, and the thread can glide under it. This being too tight in your machine, in the case, will break your top thread. It's not always a tension issue. If this is too tight around the edges and it has nowhere to go, it'll crush that thread and snap it. Also, if the bottom here has a sharp corner on it, right here on the edge, sorry about the focusing, but right here on the edge, if that corner's not rounded and beveled, that will break your thread. If this hook right here is too sharp, almost like a fish hook, that can actually split your thread and it'll weaken it and cause it to split. So I went through and I did all that, and that's one of the biggest things I did that helped my thread from splitting. And I'll show you some of the other things as we get to it. But for right now, let's go ahead and wind this bobbin. Alright, and like I said, you can always refer back to the video where I do the easy bobbin winder. But you're just going to put your thread through the hole like that. Feed it through the center hole, and then put it onto your bobbin winder like that. A little bit of pressure will hold it on. And then use your handy dandy drill or Black & Decker power driver and wind. One thing I have started doing is I hold it rather than using the tensioner on the machine. I find it gives a little bit better feed when it's not wound under a lot of tension. So I just guide it with my hand. This is one of the things that I've done to modify the machine. If you can see that right there, I cut the tip off of my presser foot, so now the presser foot itself is more open instead of having that bar going across like that. I realized that the bar, that the foot in general, the tolerances on it weren't exact, and sometimes the needle would touch the outer portion or the inner portion, and it was really hard putting this on because it has a little bit of play to get the needle perfectly centered. And again, when the thread goes through, if it touches anything, you're smashing the thread and it's going to cause it to break. So by opening that up, you not only eliminate that problem, but you get a really good feel for the machine, more like a traditional sewing machine, and you can kind of get an idea of where it's going. I really like having it open like that because I can look straight across and see exactly where the needle is in the material. This has really been helpful. The other thing that I did is right here on the cover plate, I took a conical shaped grinding bit for a Dremel tool, and I put it on the end of my drill. If you have a Dremel, that's fine. If not, just stick it on the end of a drill. And I pulled this out and I went straight down on it, and that beveled the inside of the hole. I also widened the inside of the hole to 1/8. I just do it using a regular drill bit, and then I sanded it smooth on the bottom and then got any burrs off the top. That too has also helped reduce the amount of breakage on my top thread. The other thing that I've done while I'm here is I have changed up the needle to a very specific leather tipped needle. I'll have the exact information on this needle in the description below, along with a link if I can find one. These needles were a little difficult to find. I found them on eBay. If I can find somebody currently selling them, I will put a link down there. But I'll definitely get the info on these needles and put them up. They punch the proper shaped hole through the leather rather than the industrial sewing machine needles that are generally recommended for this, that you would use on more fabric type shoes, things that this machine is typically meant for. These needles here are a little bit shorter, so I had to play with the length of the needle bar. Your machine may be set with the needle bar depth differently, but I had to adjust this so the timing was right. Okay, so I got the machine threaded up. I wanted to show you some of these tools that I picked up. I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. This one particularly, Odin, I got some of their stuff. I really liked it. I feel like that's a reasonably priced product, right in the middle of the road and really well built, good quality. This is going to be for today's project. I want to make a little protective cover for the end of this French skiver. I don't have an electric bell skiver, and I'm really not a fan of doing it with a skiving knife. I really like these tools, and these can be really, really expensive. But Odin had these. This is stainless steel. It came incredibly sharp. Also picked up this little punch set from them. Has a nice little mat on the back of it, so you can smack right into that. And then, of course, I picked up the ever-trusty thread zapper instead of using a lighter. And then I got a new pair of snips here. I really like these spring-loaded snips. They really work well with the machine. There will be a link to all this stuff in the description below. That is an affiliate link to Amazon, so if you make a purchase from there, you help support the channel. Even if you don't buy the item, if you just click on the link and you want to support the channel, you can do so just by clicking on the link and then shopping on Amazon. Alright, so I got the parts to my sheath here. I'm not going to glue them or tape them or anything. It's a small enough project where I feel comfortable just holding it. And yes, you saw that right. I stitched it, and then I went back through every single hole and stitched it again. Okay, so for all the naysayers out there who say the stitching is bad, that stitching looks pretty good to me, and you can see I literally backstitched through every single hole in the back. Looks amazing. This is what happens when you get your tension perfect. Get this cleaned up and I'll show you what it looks like. I was going to keep that skiver in great condition. I think I'm going to do that for the #1 edger I picked up also, and probably some of the other tools just to have nice little custom case. That was a lot of fun. This has been an all-day thing getting this video together. I'm sorry it's taken so long to get more content up. I really want to start doing it more often, and hopefully now that I've got this set up here, I can go ahead and do that. If you want to pick up any of these tools that I have links below in the description where you can pick those up. Those are affiliate links through Amazon, so when you shop those links, it helps support us, whether you buy the item or not. Just shopping through them helps support this channel. I absolutely love doing these videos. I want to do more. If you have any suggestions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. If this is your first time here, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And everybody do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, because that helps other people find this video and it tells YouTube that you liked the video and they'll show it to more people. Till next time, I'm Jonathan. Take care.